Howdy folks, Little John out on the back veranda, having a beer. It's a special one today. Now I'm recording this one ahead, so you're not actually going to get it on the day it's made, but anyway, today is 15th of September, it's Tuesday, 15th September 2020. Just saw from the bottle there at the start. It's my son's second wedding anniversary today. 2 years since he got married, which means it's time to do a 2-year tasting on the wedding day Russian Imperial Stout, or Russian Imperial Porter as I more correctly labelled it at the time. So, for those who aren't aware, I will put a link up to the original, back to the original brew day, and I will put a link up as well to the taste test on the first year. This was a brew I did for my son's wedding. He requested, initially he wanted me to do the beers for the wedding, but we couldn't do that with the venue he was having the reception at. So he wanted me to do a beer for all the guests. So all the male guests got a beer and all the female guests took home a jar of honey from the other side. So I made a big reiterated mash. I didn't have the space to make the 27 litres that I needed to get enough bottles for all the guests and to keep some for myself. But I managed to, I've got a few bottles left over, and as you saw there, they've been sitting in the conditioning fridge pretty much the whole time since the wedding. I think since the wedding they've been in the conditioning fridge. They sat out for about, I think they're close to 3 months old when the wedding actually occurred. I had brewed them earlier, obviously had to allow for people who were going to get it and drink it straight away. It was labelled on the bottle to drink it on the first year anniversary to celebrate with the pair of them. So it was aimed to age, obviously part of the reason why I did an Imperial Stout, but it had to be ready to go. So technically it's about 2 years and 3 months old. Did a stout because it's traditional. That's what the Tsars used to do, and the royal family in England would ship a stout off to the Russian royal family for weddings and stuff as celebration and as a gift. And there's the associated stories that go along with the Imperial Stout and what had to be so strong and all the rest of it. But that aside, it's the beer I chose to do. 9% alcohol. I've since done much bigger beers. Well, I've actually only probably done maybe 2 beers bigger than this since. The current Imperial Stout I've got going is a bit bigger. And at the time I sort of touted this more as a Russian Imperial Porter. It wasn't quite as roasty and bitter as a full stout. Due to the fact that the guests really weren't beer drinkers, or particularly not craft beer drinkers. So you can go watch that on the original video. So sat down last year and did a taster, so now I'm doing the second year. So before we get into the tasting, to my son and his wife, Levi, Kaylee, happy anniversary, cheers. As always, every year, may there be many more. To the Patreons, cheers guys, subscribers, thanks for the support. So, I said she's 2 years old. Been in the conditioning fridge for that 2 years. Sitting on about 13 degrees. So it's just been sitting at cellar temp that whole time. It's not going to sharpen. I'm not going to be able to get the really sharp on camera. It's got a lovely red hue through it. It's not super dark. Look, I can see light through. Only just, but I can see right coming through nice and red. And again, that's because the porter side not pushing into the real hard with the roasted malts. Look, I'm still drinking really nice. And now going from memory, and I didn't go back and watch, I haven't watched last year's video, but I do remember Mrs. Littlejohn sat down with me and had a glass, so we shared a bottle. We both commented about the chocolate, the chocolate smell and the chocolate on the taste, and that really it's not carrying over. There's no real chocolate notes. It's rich. Now it smells. Look, on the nose there's it's almost like that sort of medicinal note that you can get, and you can quite often smell it, and it's sort of got that smell, but it's not coming across in the flavour at all. And now, as I said, that was that's poured at 13 degrees straight from the cellar, so there's nothing muting the flavours. Now I think last year we probably did drink it. It had probably been in the fridge for a couple of hours before we drank it, so that may have emphasised the chocolate notes a little bit more. I'm not sure, but I do remember commenting that it was quite boozy, and it had a really strong. There wasn't a bad taste, but you could really taste the alcohol. Well, not the alcohol, but you could tell it was strong. That is tucked away, it's hiding. It's still there. Like if you're looking for it, you can taste. Okay, there's definite evidence that it's a strong beer with decent, with a decent alcohol strength. But it comes in quickly and it disappears, and the rest of the beer comes over behind it. So it's not drinking boozy. It was almost pushing into a portish type feel. That is still there. There's still a bit of that port feel, and I think that's fairly standard for any, real high alcohol stout or porter. I think it's more coming from the higher tannins of the darker malts. You get that sort of effect, but it's not coming across the blatant port sort of a feel. But it's just drinking real nice. There's very little carb, but there's just enough on the mouth that there's some life in it. It's very lightly carved. I deliberately carved it low to ensure that it didn't get over-carved on anybody who didn't particularly store it real well. And again, wanted it to be able to age and without the carbonation running away. So that's standing up nicely. Yeah. Give it a swirl. There's not a little gas on the edges. Now it's getting a bit low. I can really see those red tinges through it. Yeah, I'm real happy how that's travelling. I'm a bit worried about it. Yeah, at the year mark I thought, okay, it should hold up for a year without too much trouble. I was really concerned how it was going to go long term, but no, it's definitely holding its own. So I said, I'm not here to judge whether this beer is a success or not a success. It was clearly a success. I've made that judgment well long before now. Well, I said it's more about, you know, the young bloke and the second anniversary and remembering, you know, great day we had. And I said, drinking to their longevity and their health and all the rest of it. I'm going to tick off in a second and just sit down and finish this one. And sip it nice and slow as the sun starts to set. So if you've got any questions on the brew, the process, I mean, there's been chances to answer before. There's going to be viewers that have come to the channel in the last 12 months. I mean, there's a lot more. I mean, from this time now to this time last year, there's more than doubled the subscribers on the channel. So there's a lot more viewers, a lot more people that are watching. So there's a good chance there's a lot of guys out there that haven't really looked at some of those older videos. As I said, if you're interested in looking at, yeah, a bigger beer, like there's a recent video. That's an older one. Like I said, it's a reiterated mash. I use my my old 3V pesky ton. I used the Robo Brew. Combine the two to, as I said, to get a 27 litre output. So that in itself is a little bit interesting to watch, and the process and the steps that it had to go through to get that done. So I said, if there's any questions on that, yeah, stick them down the bottom. If you aren't subscribed, hit the subscribe button down there in the corner. Hit the like button if you like what you're seeing, like what's going on with Little John. And if you do like what's going on, you like what's happening on the channel, what's going on, jump on the Patreon link, like all the other Patreons. So once again, to the Patreons, cheers, thanks for all the support, guys. As I said, if you are interested in becoming a Patreon, look down below, the link's down there, jump on there, have a look, see what it's all about. There's extra videos, there's giveaways, there's prizes, there's bonuses, extra stuff for being a Patreon, and it also helps to support Little John, helps me to do the extra experiments and things that go along with the channel, because, in all honesty, if it wasn't for some support from the patrons, there'd be far less stuff going on. A lot of those experiments, a lot of the kit experiments and the extract experiments just wouldn't be happening, wouldn't be possible. So, guys, cheers. That's me. Wedding day, Russian and Imperial Porter. 2 years down the track, tasting good. Levi and Kaylee, all the best. Love yous. And that's me. I'm gone. So, till I see you again, we're brewing beer, talking beer, or drinking beer. Good brewing.